welcome again to another video of Pag-aaral, and in today's lesson, we're going to discuss your animal tissue type. Okay, so I would really do recommend to please browse your modules because this video will be really quick. We're just going to have an overview of each type of the cell, each type of your tissues, and yeah, para magkaroon kayo ng deeper knowledge about each of the type of the tissue, please read your module. Okay, so the objective for today's lesson is for you to know the 4 major types of animal tissue, and of course, you need to describe them and provide examples where each tissue type is located within the body and relate structure of individual tissue types to their function. Okay, so yeah, let's start with this mechanical pencil. I know that almost all of you have already used this mechanical pencil. So basically, it is just a pencil, but this one we don't need to really like sharpen it like the ordinary pencil. So it is primarily used for technical drawing and quick neat typing. So your mechanical pencil is composed of the structure. So it has a sleeve, eraser cap, grip, ring, cone, lead, teeth. Okay, so those are the structure of your mechanical pencil. And what we did actually is we define what is the structure, structure of the mechanical pencil as well as its function. Okay, so basically that's your anatomy and physiology. So anatomy is the study of biological form, and your physiology is the study of biological function. So we also have this term. We also have this that says form, face, function. So the form should always fit the function of that particular organism. So for example, again, your mechanical pencil. So your mechanical pencil actually is this tall, and for example, it has this shape. So all our pencils and pens, they have this kind of form. So pahaba siya and then skinny, and it has a grip. Kaya it will be, your fingers can easily hold it whenever we use it for writing. So what will happen if we have this kind of we have this form for your mechanical pencil or any writing tool. So it would be really, really hard for you to grasp it and then for you to write, diba? That's why the form is important really in order to do its function. So another example is your jackrabbit. So how does the jackrabbit keep from overheating? Yeah, that is because of their large ears. So we've studied before that in order to have, like, if you have a high surface area, of course, you'll have a lot of parang space then to parang dispense the heat in your body. So since your jackrabbit is primarily located in areas that is really hot, so they need to dispense or remove that heat in their body kasi nga they will parang may initan sila ng bongga. So because of their large ears, they were able to do that. Okay? So hindi lang yung para cute sila kasi wala kayo yung ears nila. No, it actually has a function. Okay? So another example pa is our, hands. So our hands, diba? It's composed of your muscles, your tendons, your bones. So that is the anatomy. So how about the function or the physiology? So the physiology is anything that we can do with our hands. Like for example, if you grip this one, if you punch someone, if you slap, so whatever you do with your hands is basically its function. Okay? So yeah, the animal form and functions are correlated at all levels of organization, and the size and shape affects the way an animal interacts with its environment. So say for example, you have this organism. So you have your penguin, your tuna, not really sure though, and another is this a sea lion. Okay, so they all have this kind of body shape. So it's a torpedo shape, which helps them move deeper into the water and siguro to catch prey, or that's really um because parang since they live in water and they need to dive, dapat ganyan din talaga yung form nila. Okay? So please remember that the size and shape affect the way an animal interacts with its environment. Okay? So now we have your biological organization of body pets. So actually we have when it comes to hierarchy, it actually starts with the atoms, and then atom to molecule, and molecule to macromolecule. The macromolecule, you'll have your organelle, cell, tissue, organ system, organism, population, community, ecosystem, biome, and biosphere. So that's the complete hierarchy when it comes to the living organism. But since we're just talking about this one, about the tissues, let's just concentrate with the body plan. Okay? So it starts with your cell, the basic structure and functional unit of life, or it carries a lot of life processes. And if you have a similar cells working together to carry out a particular function, that will be your tissue. And when you have a tissue that interact with one another in order to accomplish a particular life function, to have your organ. If you have an organ that exhibits structural and functional interdependency, you'll have your organ system. So basically, this organ system, they work independently but still connected to one another. Like for example, your heart. Your heart needs to pump blood all throughout your body to supply the oxygen. But if your heart fails to do so, if your heart fails, it would be it would really affect all of these parts of or all of the other organs. Kasi nga, we're all somehow dependent. They are all somehow dependent in your heart. Okay? So that's why we have this organ failure, diba? Whenever your heart fails, automatically that leads to organ failure. Or if your brain fails you, yeah, it's organ failure then. Okay? So after your organ system, you have now your organism. Wow, that's us. Okay? So, punta na tayo dito sa forming types of tissue. We have your epithelial tissue, muscle tissue, connective tissue, and nervous tissue. Start tayo sa epithelial tissue. So, basically, these are the tissue or the cells that lines the external surfaces like your epidermis or your skin, and internal cavities. Ibig sabihin, it could be the things or the cavities inside your body, so that's internal cavities, and also lines the internal organs, your internal organs. Okay, so it has your epithelial tissue has this 4 functions. So first, protection of underlying tissue, absorption, secretion, and reception of sensory stimuli. So, in order for you to really understand what epithelial tissue is, and in order for you to distinguish what kind of epithelial tissue you have, you need to, of course, know the morphology and the layering. So, the morphology basically talks about, or it's just the structure of your cell. So, if it looks like this, if it's flat and looks like a pancake, that's going to be your squamous. And then if it looks like a dice or it looks like a cube, you have your cuboidal, and columnar if it's triangle, rectangle, or column-like cells. Okay? For the layering naman, we just have 2, your simple and stratified. Basically, simple is just 1 layer of cells. Oh, that's simple. And then you'll also have your stratified. So stratified is basically just multi-layers of your cells. So it could be 2, 3, 4, whatever. Okay? Cellular cell tissue types. Now, knowing the morphology, knowing the layering, I believe that you already can distinguish what type of cell or what type of epithelial tissue each of these examples are. So first is, it has simple, kasi 1 layer lang, and then it's flat, so we call that your simple squamous. Second, it is simple cuboidal. Oh my gosh, I didn't give you time to think, but yeah, it's simple cuboidal because it has one layer long and composed of cuboidal cells. So for the third one, it has this shape and has one layer long. So we have your simple columnar. Next is we have that's your stratified squamous. Stratified because it has a multi-layer of your squamous cells, and stratified columnar. Stratified cuboidal has two layers of your cuboidal cells, and lastly we have your pseudo-stratified. So this one, pseudo-stratified, we'll know later. Kasi we're going to discuss each one. So your pseudo-stratified will know why it is called pseudo-stratified. Okay? Now, let's have your simple squamous. So simple squamous are basically just a single layer of plate-like cells that functions in the exchange of material by diffusion. So we studied before, or I discussed before, the importance of diffusion, especially in the exchange of material or the taking in and taking out of the material inside the cell. So knowing that, where can we parang apply that knowledge na dapat meron kang fast exchange of material by diffusion? Okay, that's correct. So basically, it lines your blood vessels and the air sacs of the lungs. So the air sacs of the lungs, which is your alveoli, are basically made up of your simple squamous. Why does it need to become simple squamous? Because there's a lot of exchange there. I mean, that is where your oxygen is being parang taken in by the cells. So that's why your alveoli needs to be flat lang, single layer lang, simple squamous lang, para mas mabilis yung pag-taken niya ng oxygen, yung pag-absorb niya ng oxygen through the process of diffusion. Okay? Okay. So yeah, sabi dito, diba? Diffusion of nutrients and gases is critical. Next, we have your simple cuboidal. It is a dye-shaped cell specialized for secretion. So since it's for secretion, many glands, including your thyroid gland and salivary glands, have this kind of epithelial tissue. Also, it makes up the epithelium of kidney tubules. Okay? Simple columnar naman, they are large, big-shaped cells often found where secretion or active absorption is important. So for example, this lines the intestine, secreting digestive juices and absorbing nutrients. So some of your simple columnar then, they have this cilia with them, parang nandyan, to maximize lang your surface area. Okay? Next is stratified. So stratified squamous are multi-layered and regenerate rapidly. So as you can see here, guys, tapos na tayo sa simple. Now we're going to your stratified. So this stratified squamous has this apical surface and basal surface. Here in the basal surface, it is where your cells are actively dividing. So what's the purpose of your cells dividing actively? It's because it replaces the old ones or the dead ones that is located at the apical surface. So if you're going to apply it, yeah, you know that your skin is shed off. Like, pag in-scratch ko siya dito, okay lang. I mean, pag naghilod ako, okay lang because they are already dead. And that dead cells can be replaced by another cell which is coming from your basal, dito banda sa may basal surface. So, pataas yan. It's constantly replacing those dead cells pag natanggal na. So, don't worry about paghihilod kasi hindi kayo mauubusan ng skin cells here, ng squamous cells. So, go lang. Paghilod lang kayo, hilod everyday para malinis. Pero yeah, it's good then kasi this dead cells, then of course it protects us from pathogens then, and from the direct sunlight. Okay. Yeah, commonly found on surfaces object to abrasion, such as the outer skin, the linings of the mouth, anus, and vagina. So yeah, abrasion is the process of scraping or wearing something away. Okay. Share ko lang din. So, I think that you already encountered, or if you already encountered or know about the people who have psoriasis, so they have this skin disease, diba? So, that is because they, parang kung napansin nyo, meron silang thick, thick skin. So, that is because their, here, ditong part, it's actively dividing so much. Sobrang bilis niya mag-divide. That's why, hindi pa to na-shed off. Like, okay pa siya. Okay pa yung dead skin cells mo dyan. And then, nag-multiply siya, nag-multiply. So, ang nangyayari is pataas ng cells. Masyadong maraming cells. That's why they have a thickened epidermis. Okay? Next is your stratified columnar. This one is, it's rare. It's like, it's not really observable in other types or other parts of your body, but they are commonly found in your conjunctiva, the eye, and parts of pharynx, uterus, and the male urethra, and that separate. So the function is secretion and protection as well. Next is your pseudostratified ciliated columnar. So that this is the one yung kanina yung pinakita natin. So, pseudostratified, why do you think so? Because it is not actually a stratified, it doesn't have a stratified layering. So, one layer lang siya, as you can see here. Pero, the thing is, it actually looks like a stratified. Bakit? Kasi, the cells are not uniform in size. So, they have varying height, varying sizes. Like, diba, if we say columnar, they should look like this lang, diba? Katulad ng examples natin kanina. But this pseudostratified ciliated columnar, some of itself looks like that. So, parang manipis or parang narrow, and then it's full wide enough dito sa may bottom part, or vice versa. So, ganun yung nangyari. Like, ito, tapered yung sa upper niya, and then dito naman, wide naman. Also, the nuclei of your cells here is not really in one side. I mean, parang hindi naman sila pantay-pantay. Like, diba? Parang dapat ganito siya eh. Ayan. But no, andito yung ibang nucleus, andito yung iba naman nasa baba. So that's why it looks like it's stratified even though it's not. So in many vertebrates, a pseudostratified epithelial ciliated cell forms a mucous membrane that lines portions of the respiratory tract, and the beating of the cilia, since your cilia is located here or present here, it keeps the film of mucus along the surface. Okay? So guys, that is your epithelial tissue. Let's go now with your muscle tissue. So your muscle tissue is composed of long cells called muscle fibers that allow the body to move, or if you wanted to, in madaling salita, in other words, your muscle tissue are just those responsible for all the motion movements that you do, okay? Even though you're not aware of it or you're aware of it, okay? Even though it's voluntary or not voluntary. So we categorize this into the following. We have your skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. Your skeletal are straighted, voluntary movement. Cardiac is straighted with intercalated discs for synchronized heart contraction, and in your smooth are not really straighted and they are involuntary. Okay. Ayun. So, start tayo sa skeletal muscle. Your skeletal muscle are attached to bones, and contraction of these muscles generate body movement. So, lahat ng movement that you do with your body, like if I do this, if I do that, wala kwentang paggalaw. So that is because of your skeletal muscle that is attached to your bone. So everything, even your breathing, that is because of your skeletal muscle. Okay? So they are categorized as voluntary muscle fibers. So voluntary, ibig sabihin, if I want to, I can do it. If I want to, I'll be able to move it. For example, I want to raise my hand, I want to do this, I can because I want, because that's voluntary. But unlike the other muscle cells sa pag-aaralin natin, after that one, those are involuntary. Okay? So the skeletal muscle fibers are long and cylindrical with multiple peripherally located nuclei. So as you can see here, guys, itong mga darkened part here, that is your nuclei. So yun yung nuclei niya, and it's multiple. So yeah, marami pala. So the cells have striation, alternating light and dark bands that result from the ordered arrangement of actin and myosin with the cell. So the reason why your skeletal muscle has a striation is because of the alternating light and dark bands that result from the ordered arrangement of actin and myosin. So what is your actin and myosin? So actin and myosin are actually your contractile proteins. So those are the proteins responsible or help your muscle to contract. So whenever they contract, they use your actin and your myosin. So that is the reason why meron siyang striations. Meron siyang mga lines there. Striations. Because of the parang palagi ang contraction. Kasi diba, our muscles, we use this parang when we need to make buhat of something. So it's very tedious. The work of your skeletal muscle, you need to exert a lot of effort. That's why you need, of course, a lot of actin and myosin. So that's why you have your striations. Okay. Next, we have your smooth muscles. So these are found in your walls or hollow organs of your walls, such as your gastrointestinal tract, blood vessels, and urinary bladder. It is categorized as involuntary. Thank you. Kasi it's involuntary because you don't need to really command your stomach to digest. Okay, stomach, digest it na, and then pakisend mo lang yung mga nutrients dun sa may gastrointestinal tract. So, ay sa may small intestine. So, we don't really need to do that. It just happens that way. Whenever you take in food, automatically your gastrointestinal tract will do their work. Okay? Very good. So, the smooth muscle cells are not treated. So, why are they not treated? It is because that is not that tedious compared to the muscle cells that you have, that we have. The biomuscle cells, they do a lot of work, but your smooth muscle cells, they just do that whenever it is, they need to do this. They need to do it. Like, involuntary din naman siya. Yeah. So, and yeah, the work naman is not that, hindi man siya masyadong nakakapagod, although it's involuntary, like, talaga din ginagawa. Pero yeah, compared to lahat ng ginagawa ng muscle cells, ng skeletal muscle, is much relaxed in a way. So, they are not treated, okay? So they have single nucleus and have tapered ends. So when I say tapered ends, yeah, natutok yung ends niya. So that's tapered ends, okay? Lastly, we have your cardiac muscle that is only present in your heart, guys. Wala na kayo makikita cardiac muscle bukod sa heart nyo. Nandun lang siya. Hindi kayo makakita niya sa brain, okay? So that's cardiac muscle. So that is categorized as involuntary, not under conscious control. So thank you, Lord, again, kasi it is involuntary. So imagine if the pumping of your heart is voluntary, like you need to, oh my gosh, heart, again, and just going to sleep, but please continue to pump for me. So it's going to pump automatically. The moment you've been conceived in the womb of your mother, your heart are already beating. Nagbe-beat na yung heart nyo. So starting from that until now, it's beating. So thank you, heart. Okay, so your cells are treated, but the striations are much less obvious than in skeletal muscle tissue. Sorry, nasamit ako. So your cells are actually treated then here, pero the striations are not that really observable. Kasi hindi, pag kinupare mo yung work niya, not really, parang malala. Though, syempre, we need to think our heart kasi, yeah, it's continuously pump. Pero hindi naman sobrang ganun pump, diba? Parang kapatok. Anyway, so these individual cells are connected via gap junctions. So the cells the muscle cells present in your heart are connected by gap junctions and your desmosomes. So these gap junctions and desmosomes, I know you still remember that. So those are cellular connections. So if we view it under the microscope, they would look like bands, dark bands. And these dark bands, we call that your intercalated disc. And because of this intercalated disc, each of the muscle cells, they were able to coordinate for beating of the heart. So imagine if they're not coordinating, parang I have 10 cells here, tapos una itong mag-beat, tapos sunod ko, what will happen, di ba? It's, hindi ganun kalakas yung pag-pump niya ng blood tuloy kasi nga parang ganun siya distorted, no? So, yeah, important talaga yung cellular connections or yeah, intercalated discs, okay? So, remember that. Okay, so yeah, that's your muscle tissues. Yay! So yeah, here's the striations. So, ayan yung striations. Hindi siya masyadong obvious kanina. And yeah, smooth muscle, the third smooth muscle, the nucleus muscle fiber, and your corsal muscle. So your corsal muscle naman, these are your intercalated discs here. Yeah, that's your intercalated discs. Hindi yung sakita kanina. Next is your connective tissue. So this connective tissue performs connective. Of course, it's connective, so it performs connective functions and supportive as well. So it gives form to and anchoring the organs of the body. So it is consists of one or more cell types embedded in the matrix. So later, you'll know ano yung sasabi nyo. Kasi diba, when we say muscle cells, ay muscle tissue, parang one kind of cell lang yun nandun. It's limited here. Parang muscle myocytes, okay? So here, the connective tissue, they could be a combination of one or more cells or cell types, okay? So, embedded in the matrix. So, anong ibig sabihin natin ng matrix? So, the matrix consists of widely dispersed fibers embedded in the ground substance which may range in form from solid to liquid. So, yung matrix nyo daw, it is widely dispersed and fibers that could range from solid to liquid. And your matrix, guys, you need to please remember that there are sa matrix, there are live parts of that matrix, and also meron din tayong mga non-living parts of the matrix. So the non-living parts of the matrix, we could say that these are your loose connective tissues and your dense connective tissue. So your loose connective tissue is, for example, is the areolar tissue, which is widely distributed throughout your body. That is located underneath of all epithelial tissues and forms a soft cushioning around the organ. So this is very important because your areolar tissue is just para siyang protective. Protective siyang, gano'n. I mean, para if ever mabunggo kayo or something, and yun, hindi agad masyasok. Your organs will not be shocked or parang malesen yung shock if ever kasi meron siyang cushion. Okay? So, areolar tissue contains immune cells that help fight infection and regulate inflammation. Okay. So, we have naman then your dense connective tissue. So, this tissue contains densely packed bundles of irregularly collagen fibers. So, this one, sa loose kasi parang, we could say na parang kalat-kalat sila. I mean, parang ka lang may net-like, andun siya. Not really that compact, okay? So, when we say compact or densely packed bundles of irregularly arranged collagen fibers, that is your dense connective tissue. That is found in the areas of the body that are subject to tension from many different directions, okay? So, the nuclei of their connective tissue cells are scattered throughout the collagen fibers. So, we could say it like this. So, diba? If I pull my hand like this, ayan, so I can do it because of the loose connective tissue that I have here in my hand. And when I bounce it back, I mean, if I let it go, parang siya nagbabounce back lang. So, that is because naman of your elastin fiber. And here, my entire skin is composed then ng dense connective tissue, which is your collagen fiber. So, the more collagen fiber that you have in your body, ibig sabihin, it will make your connective tissues more dense. Okay? Next is your blood. So, you might be wondering, Mom, how can we consider your blood as part of your connective tissue if it doesn't really connect, like literally connect? If you compare it to your bones, diba? It connects. But, your blood, you need to remember, is, it transports the oxygen all throughout your body because of its, RBC. So, basically, it, connects. So, we consider your blood, okay? Your plasma is made up of your plasma or liquid extracellular matrix contains water salts and dissolved proteins, erythrocytes that carry your oxygen or RBC, leukocytes for defense, is your white blood cells, and platelets for blood clotting. Cartilage is the next one. So, your hyaline cartilage is the most abundant type of cartilage that is found in your rib cage, the nose, trachea, and ends of long bones. So, this nose, it is your cartilage, and I know that the ears then is a cartilage. That's why pag like, butas kayo, it's much, parang mas masakit dito kasi it's actually a cartilage na masakit. Dito naman kasi laman pa yan, so that's muscle pa rin. So, hindi masyadong masakit. So, yeah, the cartilage here. Okay, so, your cartilage provides support then, of course, but is more flexible than your bone. So, I can do this. I can fold my ears. Because it's much more flexible. You can do that with your bones. And, yeah, has a cushioning properties then. So, hyaline cartilage has a firm matrix with abundant collagen fibers, but the individual fibers cannot be seen under the microscope. So the cells which are known as your chondrocytes. So yeah, the cells the cells that you can find in your cartilage is what you call your chondrocytes that is residing in the small cavities, yung mga bilog-bilog dyan. So that's your lacuna. So these are your small cavities within the matrix of your hyaline cartilage. Okay. Next is your bone. So your bone is a mineralized connective tissue made by bone-forming cells called your osteoblasts. So this deposits the collagen, okay? The matrix of the collagen is combined with calcium, magnesium, and phosphate ions to make the bone hard. So hard that even when you die, even when you're buried, hindi pa rin siya the-decomposer. It would really take time for it to be decomposed. So the blood vessels and the nerves are found at the center or at the central canal, which is your Haversian canal, then surrounded by concentric circles of osteon. So here, dito, that's a canal. So that is where your blood vessels and nerves are found. Okay? So your adipose tissue naman, so that is consisted of your adipocytes or fat cells. So that is closely packed together that functions for energy storage, insulation, and cushioning. So that's why I have meron akong maraming adipose tissue here and entire dito sa buong body ko. So that's why I don't really get that parang mabilis lang bigyan kasi meron akong insulation. Ooh, thank you adipose tissue. But yeah, and yeah, meron din silang storage ng energy. Okay, so small pockets of adipose tissue can be found all over the body but accumulates under the skin or the subcutaneous fat and around certain organs such as the kidney. So each cell contains a large fat chaplet which pushes the nucleus to the side. So here, you can see then that your nucleus are actually designed as a gilid yung mga nucleus yung why? Because it is being pushed by the large droplets present in your adipocyte. Okay, so that's your connective tissue, guys. Let's go to your nervous tissue. So your nervous tissue basically is composed of your neurons, active neuron and glial cells. So neurons are the main ones, while your glial cells functions as a support for your cells. So these neurons send stimuli and transmits electric signals all throughout the animal body. So this is the structures of your neuron, on the parts of your neuron. So you have your dendrites, which carry impulses towards the cell nerve body. So this is your cell nerve body. This is your nucleus here, cell body, yeah. And the axon naman, it carries your impulses away from the cell body. So basically, that's the difference between the two. Okay? So your nervous tissue, again, your neurons receive signals from either the external or internal environment. So we're not really limited lang sa signals na nare-receive niya from the outside. For example, if I do this, of course, parang it will send signal because of the sense, I have here sensory neurons. Parang it will send signal na ito yung ginagawa ko. Alam mo yun, it should send. So, that is the external, pero internal meron din tayo. And transmit them in the form of electrical impulses to other neurons, muscles, or glands. So, there are 3 types of neurons. We have your sensory neurons. Nga, ito yung sabi ko kanina, no? When I do this, it will send electrical impulses to other neurons kasi nga, because of the sensory neurons. Motor neurons naman basically is for impulses na papunta naman sa muscles nyo. So, to create movement, okay? So, we have also the interneurons. So, that is the impulses coming from the glands or from the glands that secrete hormones, okay? So, hey, we're done with the forming types of your tissue. So, again, epithelial tissue is for the lining, muscle tissue is basically for the motion or movement, connective tissue is for the connection, connecting one tissue to another, and supporting them. Nervous tissue is basically functions for transmitting electric impulses from one neuron to another. Okay, yeah, that's all, guys. 36 minutes, 37, but I hope you learned something, and let's see each other again sa next video. Bye-bye!